Welcome in.
And a 3, and a 2, and a...
How we doing? Yes. Scorched Earth, Lumberjack, Molson. L Beats, Jimmy the Saint, Plum Crunchy, Richard, Wired, Colossal Meltdown, Scorched Earth, Wolfen, Jake, Skinner, Wad. What's going on? Twisty Farmer. What's up, everybody?
Hello!
This
Hope
is
everybody
Jason.
had a great weekend.
This is Jason. There's going to be a lot of different faces without faces. We have Alex, Ryan, and Gabe all over in the peripheral and
In the bullpen.
in the bullpen. So if you hear stuff, that's what it is. And
That's
they
the
can.
bullpen.
Hey, those are live,
Turns.
by the way. They can hear you.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, chat.
There you go. Yes, Chris, you fired for starting late. Get on out of here, says Little Billy, starting on strong.
Starting on strong.
I'm so glad we're all here today.
Including Little Billy?
Yeah, of course. We wouldn't be who we are without Little Billy. Maybe.
I mean, I'd still be me.
Tale as old as time.
The tail's as old
Jason?
as time.
Grab my little noise box here while you tell us how your weekend was, mister.
Me?
Yeah, how was your weekend?
It was pretty good.
Mm,
I
Mhm.
I had brunch with Jordan on Saturday,
nice.
and then I went to Gabe's house
That's right.
with you lunatics.
That's right.
Chris,
You did.
We hung
Factually
out.
correct.
I'm not real sure what to think about Chris. Chris was either drunk or just not in a good mind state.
Me, I was very relaxed.
I think he was drunk.
I think I was very relaxed.
So Chris was doing his thing. Kicked
I
back.
was very relaxed.
Very relaxed.
I was relaxed.
Wink,
Excuse
wink.
everybody.
You were lounging.
I was lounging. It was very nice outside under the stars. I thought so, right? Chris, no, I was not. I was very coherent and alive and well.
Long day in the sun.
It was a long day in the sun. My hands got sunburned.
I got pretty sunburned.
The next day on Sunday, I went back to a different pool, which was great.
You went to another pool party?
No,
Thanks.
No.
Thanks for the info.
I just like
Appreciate
hanging out
that.
at the pool.
That was great.
I'm a pool guy.
Great story.
Big pool guy. I don't have
I
3
said we could
mics.
share.
I'm so sorry. Chris, you're awesome, and I appreciate you. Wad, wow.
Hi, Wad.
Avian, who do we have off camera? We have Ryan, we have Gabe, and we have Alex.
We could be on camera.
We could, but
We
I'm not going
could.
to turn that on.
Yeah, it's
Come
right
on.
there.
I don't know if it's
You-
actually hooked up.
You could turn it on.
Might be able to.
Didn't you set all of this up?
Did.
That's fine.
All the questions. You're fired.
Chat. I have no idea what's going on.
You guys are not.
No free pub for sick Chris.
That's Gabe. Apparently that's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sick Chris is Gabe.
I could do this.
Hi, Avian.
If you feed a Boosabu a brookie, what happens?
Here, Ryan, you sit here.
You know what
Okay.
I said?
All right.
I said Mondays are for the Boosabu. Yeah. Get it?
No.
But Moosabees.
I said Mondays are for the
What's a
Boosabu.
A Moosabe.
I don't get it.
They're delicious.
All right, let's see if this worked.
Sweet.
Oh.
There we go.
Look at that.
We have the creative team and Gabe.
Ha! Oh, sorry.
Gabe is our brand director.
And
So
Gabe.
he works very closely with all of us. You all know who Gabe is.
I guess I'm not creative enough.
Work harder
He
next
is.
time.
That's Ryan right there. He edits a lot of our videos, so we can
do.
give him all of the accolades. He does a lot of that. And then Alex is our multimedia, or no, that's Ryan. Alex is our marketing designer. She does a lot of our drawings as well, a lot of our calligraphy and logo stuff. And this is Jason.
Hi,
He paints,
I do.
and I don't know what I do here anymore. I sit here and I take it right in the old tookus from
What?
chat. And
Excuse you?
I love
The
every
old
minute of it.
tookus.
That's a
Excuse
different
you?
channel.
In case you're wondering, says Lumberjack, Gabe and Chris sound exactly
free
alike
pub.
when they're streaming together and can't tell them apart. Except Gabe sounds like Chris if Chris had a cold. Thank you.
What?
Sniper Corgi, heck yeah, time for some painting Zen stream. Sniper Corgi, I hope you are painting alongside us. We're painting up a Boosabu. This is from Conquest. Right, Jason?
Yeah.
Boosabu.
Oh,
Hi,
okay.
Avian.
Chaos, you said ordering my Euroni warband on Friday. Sweet. That sounds more like an OF, Chris says Scorched Earth. I don't know what you're talking about.
It says of Chris.
No, it's... Oh, thank you, Ryan. That's... Okay. All right. We got a Boosabu before GTA 6. That's correct,
Oh.
Commando Ken. Looks like it. Thank you, Lumberjack. You got to rep me. Shout out to Mo. We haven't seen Mo in a while. Hopefully everything is doing okay.
Where are you?
Not
We'll
here.
see.
Here, sorry.
Why are they not painting? What even is this stream now? They're working as well. Jason said, hey, why don't you guys stay? We just had a big, long meeting. And I said,
I was
no,
ready-
they must
Yeah, I was ready to go
work.
home.
Business, business, business.
Do more business at home.
And so we decided to rope them in.
I invited him for some fun because I'm not a tyrant.
Oh, my. Oh, my.
Only on Tuesday.
Only on Tuesdays.
Tyrant Tuesday.
Oh, got it. Got it.
I'm
Thank
here
you.
for it.
Thank you.
Everybody just gives tyrannical energy.
Tyrant Tuesdays. What sound does a Boosabu make, Jason?
What's fun?
And Jason, really quick,
Uh-huh. What?
what sound does a Boosabu make?
Cha-cha-cha.
Wow. Boosabu does breathing
Nice.
gym,
That was
I bet.
excellent.
Damn.
Fisters. That was great, Jason.
I think what I'm most excited about is the live reactions I watching the stream.
Oh my gosh.
This is not.
I'm
true.
always
That what
yelling
happened?
at the screen
I've
because I
always-
can't
I've
type
told
fast
them,
enough.
I have told my team to be like, okay, you guys should put stream in the back of your head or just like in another ear so that you can get a vein of where Jason or I are at on any given
Oh
day.
boy, that's hard.
So without obviously getting distracted. And
You guys
I'm
are
just
pretty
glad you're all
distracting
here.
Sometimes. We're
Scorcher
always
says that
lurking,
was
though.
beautiful. Fisters, barely nosers. Thank you, Wad. That's
That's a
crazy.
big sigh, Chris.
Is this a tornado alert? That's something, Cornflake Justice. It's something. Should have been a voice actor, Jason. You should have, Jason. You could have played a Boosabu very well. Avian says, okay, so...
That's a very backhanded compliment.
Avian says, okay, so my samurai finally showed up for my dual diorama. Oh my gosh, you don't have much time. Sign not have a chance of building everything and painting it by the end of the month. Dang it. Avian, not with that attitude. To do it.
You have 2 days. Don't let it get to you.
Technically, that's correct. Avian says, question then. Due to experience in various fields and hobbies, is there anything in miniature form that you cannot paint due to it being positioned wrong?
Oh.
Wow.
Positioned wrong? How do you mean?
Avian, that's pretty deep, man.
What do you mean, positioned wrong?
Yeah. Positioned wrong.
You'd have to help me understand what you're asking.
No, we don't. Oh, man. Carl Duty with a banger. If you had to pick one color from the PA line, Jason,
Uh-huh.
to define a miniature genre, what would it be? What color would define sci-fi, and what color would define fantasy, etc.?
Oh,
Wow.
I don't think that's possible.
That's a wild question, Carl. Carl Duty's over there, and he's by the pool right now.
I don't feel like
Carl Duty.
I don't feel like that's a fair question. How does one color define anything?
I think that's the question, but you have to pick one. Jason,
I don't have to do anything.
let's do this. Pick one color in the PA line that defines sci-fi. For Jason.
Oh wow.
A lot of good questions today already. One color. If you had to pick, obviously we know what you're. Obviously, it's a hard question.
That defines sci-fi.
Yeah. Defines sci-fi.
That's not possible.
It is.
No.
In your mind.
No.
Could be.
Uh.
Defines sci-fi.
Neutral gray. Yeah, neutral gray, maybe.
Neutral gray.
Neutral gray.
Defines sci-fi?
Yeah, because everything's just gray steel,
Oh.
right?
I guess that's the sad reality
In
sometimes.
the far-flung future, it's all very
Very
gray
dystopian.
steel. I don't know about dystopian. It's not an
Everything's-
ideal. It's just steel. It's just
From-
everything's metal and
yeah.
concrete and steel. And
I guess that's true. From
there's
my
no nature anymore.
from my
and-
studies and science that I have found that everything actually in the future is chrome.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're-
Everything is chrome in the future.
Isn't that in a SpongeBob episode?
That's the point.
The and then for fantasy, some people have said royal purple, and I could get with that.
Okay.
I think it's
Jason almost said dark purple.
bright pale green. Sci-fi.
Oh, bright
Ooh,
pale green.
bright
Okay.
pale green.
All right.
Not bright yellow green.
All right.
Mine's bright neutral gray.
I think we had some questions scroll past.
How would you approach painting non-metallic metal, including one step in this process, Jason? Snakes OD says.
In what process?
Just say, how would you approach painting non-metallic metal, including one step in the process? My bad.
Including one
Yes.
step in the
Mhm.
process.
You did that with that gold shield or shoulder pad.
Yeah, the great thing is that one step can be anywhere you want it to in that, right? Because
Yeah.
it works so great as a filter and a glaze that you could add it as you're glazing colors into your metals. Or it could literally be right at the beginning for the base coat, and then you can build your contrast and reflection on top of that base coat. So if you're doing golds, I can mix yellow and orange maybe to get a good basis for gold, and then do midtones and highlight over the top if you just wanted your base coat to happen quickly. But one step is so flexible, you could use it anywhere in the process. If you wanted to, say, paint your values for your reflections in black and white, then you could use one step as the coloring over that to get your midtone colors in. It depends on how far you want to go with your underpainting and your value sketch.
Okay.
But I could see doing, non-metallic metal in a value sketch, and then doing one step over the top to bring color into it, and then refining your highlights after that. There's a myriad, man. That's a great question, but there's a ton of ways. Just depends on how you like to do your non-metallic metal to begin with.
Avian, going back to Avian's questions, that you cannot paint due to it being positioned wrong because it's built funny, hands holding an object in an odd position. Essentially, your brain goes, hey, that's not how it works.
No, I mean, I can paint anything. I think that there are lots of times where my brain goes, hey, that's not how that works.
Yeah.
And then it gets into like sub-assemblies and stuff like that. There's nothing that makes me look at it and say, I won't paint that, because that's just too stupid. I don't think, if that's what you're asking. But, when it's something that has a particular shape to it that is difficult, just it's problem solving, figure out how to change that. There are some things that I look at and, let's go into this. Like, there were some models from Infinity, from Corvus Belli, that I think were in the Pano faction. that were neat, but because the person that designed them didn't understand how bullets in a magazine work,
Oh, okay.
he's probably the kind of person that probably calls them clips,
Okay.
right? And
Empty the clip.
yeah, got the clip in my AR. And they did them reverse. They did these weird reverse banana clips that don't work by any law of physics that exists in the known realms. And I looked at those and I refused to paint those models because they had such asinine guns. So
Okay, I think
that might fit what you're saying.
I think that exactly answers
that might
this question.
fit. I chose not to do Pano because there was a design in them that was so infuriating that I didn't want to paint them.
The moral of that story is, Avian, is I don't know.
Well said,
I think
Christopher.
it answered your
models
question though.
wisely.
Cool.
Sniper Corky says, any chance Jason could show off how to highlight skin a bit, or is there a good video on it already? I'm struggling with how much to cover things like arms and legs and base and highlight and such.
Arms and legs and base and highlight.
With base and highlight.
Ooh. The videos we did on stream of painting Surfer Girl would be very good to show you like full body, how I attack painting full body highlights and such.
Yeah, there was another one you did recently. I'm trying to remember.
Well, we did that face the other day, but that's just facial.
Yeah.
I don't know that
That was a great video for that, though, I feel like. Shadowcast says, other than dark purple, what other color should I start with? I'm doing Legion clones with white armor.
For white, you can use just about anything. I think grays, like dark warm gray work really well because they give you kind of a dirty foundation for your white for clones. But dark blues work really well too. I think blues and purples are always my go-to, right? That's kind of where I land. I have to pull a Chris. I have to use the restroom real quick.
What?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I have to take a potty break.
Oh.
Look at his face.
What are you doing?
I know. See?
Get in there, Chris.
I have to pull a Chris. You got to come over here and paint now. Finish that model.
The Boosabu.
Do it quick while he's gone.
Wow.
The Boosamu.
This is like the news anchor.
What's going on? Bald man, you're not bald. I see we have. Yes, actually, these are all potential replacements. They are actually shadowing me so that I could be officially fired. Gabe is just here to make sure that nobody steals anything from the building.
It's Project Make Chris Expendable.
Dang.
Project divvy tasks up accordingly. Project Chris is actually leaving. I'm not going anywhere. Here for a long time, chat. Get this guy out of here. Don't just stand there slack-jawed, Chris. Start painting. Don't tell me what to do. You're not my dad.
Make it Chris.
You're not bald.
Thank you. See, I have two witnesses, bald man. Well, and Gabe. Gabe is more of a bystander.
What?
Than to prove that you're not bald. Quick, reprime the model. I would be shot on sight. Chris here for a long time.
Yes, like so.
That's not my dad. This is a cell phone. Thank you, little Billy. You get it. What's up, sarcastic grandpa? Chris, hope you find your dad. Me too. No, if you reprime it, you're in the clear. I don't know, Sugar Rush. There's a 50-50 on that. If I reprime, I don't want to reprime the model. It looks good. I don't want to be that guy.
Be that guy.
How did Chris become Charlie Brown? Hey, whoa, everybody calm down. Thank you, Howmandu. Thank you. Good grief. Chaos Devil Painting. I'm bald. That's okay if you're bald. Jen says, oh, hi, marketing team. It's nice to see you all on stream.
Hi, Jen.
Hello, Jen.
Little Billy says, quick, Chris, replace all of his paints with bag acryl. I won't. Orc Pride, 110 months. Orc Pride, whoo!
Wow.
That's a lot of months. Jen, hope you're doing well.
You could reprime it with the DA 3000.
Do you even watch stream?
I do.
Man. I'm just going to pretend you didn't say that.
Okay.
You tried, buddy.
Yes, I could. I don't know. It's a product that Jason's invented that is still not out yet. I hope, Baldman says, I hope you see how fast he turns on Monument Crew. Support me instead. Baldman, if I could actually ban you, I would. Just for a day, but then I'd have you come back. Because we don't want you to go anywhere. Because you're a part of our community. How may I do? 10 months. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Chris, please actually replace his paints with back acryl before one stream. I won't. I run a tight ship, and by a tight ship, I mean I'm the ship, and Jason is the wonderful captain. And you guys are the ocean. I almost forgot.
What kind of ship are you?
Does he even watch
Are you like a
stream?
pirate ship, like a cargo
That's
ship?
a great question. No, I think I'm like one of those flat tankards, that just like holds like shipping containers. Like straight up.
Okay.
Just like one of those huge
Just
tankers.
Super long.
Yeah.
super long.
In
Or
the back.
a pirate ship.
Nice.
Or just
Could a ship fly?
Like a spaceship?
What if the ocean's not actually?
Okay. Now
Oh.
we're really getting into the nitty gritty here.
let's get to the nitty gritty.
I am a flat ship that holds cargo. That is the ship in which I am.
Nice. Any specific? Just the cargo boxes? What do they?
Yeah, like the
hold?
shipping containers.
What
like,
comes in the shipping container?
various goods.
Certain wares.
Yeah. Pro acryl.
For a grill. For the masses.
Chris, do you notice how long he's gone? He's probably washing his hands. Thank you, Lumberjack, for keeping me accountable. Jason's definitely taking a lot longer than you'd think, and I guarantee you he's gonna mention I washed my hands when he comes back in here.
What if he just left?
He might have. No, car's still here.
That'd be awesome. Just throw him away.
That would be hilarious. What kind of car?
He went out to go get some dilly bars.
Yeah.
Jason is definitely washing his hands. Okay, Ghost Hunter, we get it.
Yeah, that's what
Cairo.
Ken said.
Thank you so much for that sub. Goofball Jones, welcome in. Plump Crunchy, you'd have a big gulp. Oh, yeah. No, I decide. Oh, there he is.
Aha!
He came back
Yeah, sorry.
with no milk
No milk?
or cigarettes.
I didn't go get cigarettes and milk.
Oh,
Sorry, chat.
That's why he came
that's okay.
back.
Welcome back, Jason.
I am back.
I didn't hop in there like you thought I would.
Cat wanted to read.
I was gonna say chicken.
Yeah, they're bold. They'll just
Chicken?
jump right on that. Reprime it, you won't do it.
chicken. He wouldn't. do it.
You won't do it. Can't smoke in the office, Chris. Don't tell me what to do, Commando Ken. This is just basically a 1950s bowling alley in here. It reeks of menthol slims.
Wait, what?
Papa Chicken, welcome back, Jason. Save us from the relentless, amazing attitude which Chris has put upon us. Oh, thank you, Papa Chicken.
Relentless attitude.
Yeah, hey, that's a good thing. Thank you.
I feel like.
No, you don't read that one.
Oh,
That was a good compliment. I always make sure you're all taken care of.
here we go. He protects us from the slings and arrows, chat.
I do. I know what I do at Monument Hobbies on a daily basis.
You just at the beginning of stream said you had no clue what you do at Monument Hobbies.
Question for Jason. Can I give up? Okay,
Yes.
long question. Can I give up my giveaway spot? What? Because I, in Sweden, might get my dream job, and I'm at the final stage of going forward with the job full time, If I get the job full time and miss your stream, I don't want to hold up because it's not. Can I contact Chris and take me off the list if I get this job? Sure, but
Well, first off, congrats on the
Yeah.
chance to get your dream job. That's awesome.
that's huge.
That's awesome. But really realize there are so many entries
Can
that I would
dur-
leave you in just because you might catch the stream.
Yeah, why not? Maybe you could go poop at your new job and bring it to the the restroom with you.
There's a thought.
I'm not even joking.
I should have taken stream to the restroom.
Why
That's crazy.
didn't you?
That might break a lot of TOS.
You'd be like, all right, stream, come along with me.
I don't- Notice how he said congrats first,
What if
Chris.
instead of taking stream to the bathroom with you, bathroom,
Oh.
We do what?
we bring the bathroom to the.
We could install a toilet right there in that corner.
You could just drop your out right there. No one knows.
I don't know that that's...
This is why you guys are over there. Jason's painting.
Oh, man, oh, man.
We could
Just
dig
think
a-
about it.
yeah,
We'll workshop it.
We'll
Yo.
dig a hole.
The old chamber pot.
Oh, my God.
Chris will clean it out.
What's the
Yes.
difference between the transparent and the one step? Does one step lie between transparency and normal paint range in terms of opacity? No. So the you can think about paints in terms of their opacity, but that would lead you astray because while one step is a transparent style of paint, it works differently in how it applies than the normal paints and including the transparents. The transparents are just like our normal paints. They're more akin to the expert acrylics, right? Because they're single pigment and very high vibrancy, very high saturated pigment. And then when you apply them, they just stay where you put them. You can thin them, you can mix them, do whatever you want to, just like a normal paint. But when you paint it on, it stays there. It doesn't run all over the model. Now, if you add glaze wash medium to it, you can turn it into a wash, glaze with it, whatever you want. But out of the bottle, they're just normal paints that you can see through a little bit, but not a lot, right? When it comes to one step is a paint that is purposefully less opaque so that it shows value through, but it still has very high saturation, so you get a lot of color out of it, but it's going to show brightness and darkness through it so that you can get that speed paint kind of base layer done. But it flows like a wash where it pulls more pigment into low spots so that it creates its own shading. So it's really more of a hybrid between the transparent paints and the washes, if anything, but that's not really even a good definition. It's another beast entirely that is meant to perform in a certain way. So think about them less of which one is as opaque, because you can thin any of the paints to be the opacity you want. The transparents are just punchier colors that you can add to other colors or add to your metallics, and because they're translucent or more translucent and non-opaque, then they don't have the same ability to overtake those colors, especially with the metallics. They still allow the metallics to be shiny, but alter the color. So they're flexible mixing paints and just direct painting paints, whereas one step are meant to be a specific type of application, and then glazes, washes, those types of things. So
Jason, do you think watercolors have a place in the hobby?
for backgrounds and stuff, yeah, not on models. There's no resin in them. They don't cling to surfaces. They're meant to go into porous surfaces and sink in. So they're not gonna stick to the surface like a normal paint would. And when you go over the top of them with wet paints, they reactivate and cause all sorts of problems because the surfaces aren't porous enough. But for painting backdrops, I think they're great. Because metallics on Battletech minis are so often pretty much the same, I've kind of lost the sense of play when painting them. How can I bring back the play and exploration when painting the metallic bits while still making the metals match a canonical vibe? Are you talking about armor?
Maybe.
Papa Chicken? Like when you say metals or metallics, are we talking about guns on the minis, or are we talking about like the whole armor bits and stuff?
Yeah, let us know, Papa Chicken.
Kiro, nice. I'm excited to paint that dragon. I have one of those
Would-
dragons in my first blood list.
Would transparent orange work with the glaze and work similarly without one step orange?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, glaze wash and thin it down. I was only using the one-step orange for its filtering capacity. That's why we showed it off, not for its ability to create shadows. So yeah, transparent orange. Transparent orange is a different orange, but it would get you close. You might mix, I don't know, I would try it with transparent orange. It might be a little punchier over the yellow, but they would be close.
Papa Chicken, yeah, the inner lining joints and the gun tips, etc.
I mean, I do all of mine just with a very quick Wish.com non-metallic metal. I don't know if we have any of them up here.
I don't think so. I think they're all in that
I
case.
think they're all in that case, right?
You've got the, well, no, that one's the big one. That doesn't really give you a good idea.
I mean, it's not Wish.com, but it's the same mentality.
Oh,
right?
The inner mechanisms?
Yeah, because this is the same way I would paint the smaller ones,
Yeah.
right? Is just going in and doing, you know, like in this case, probably Payne's gray and white blue and mixing them barely and then just doing a streak of the white blue across. And then all of this is done with the neutral grays, right? So the guns I do with a gunmetal style with Payne's gray and white blue, and these are done with the neutral grays to bright neutral gray. Probably dark warm gray, neutral gray, and bright neutral gray, you know, and doing the non-metallic, you know, just very quick non-metallic styling on there. Makes it, you know, gives it some life, makes it interesting. And yeah, every mech's going to be done the same way. There's not really a need to. You spend most of your time making the painted bits, set everything apart, more than worrying about, you know, the inner working bits. Because some mechs have a lot of it, some mechs don't have any. So that's going to vary it, I think, on its own for you. You know, whether or not you choose to paint the toes or you paint them the color of the armor. I like them where they're just the metallic. I think on this guy I did like a wash of flesh wash on it, so it gave it kind of a rusty, very light flesh wash in there, gave it kind of a rusty in between. That works really well.
Bald Man, I don't know where that VOD lives. It's an old VOD. I'm looking for it, but it wasn't last.
Special Sauce and Transparency is ridiculous. It's so good.
You painted that thing a minute ago.
Oh, that Timberwolf? Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Shadowcast says, I'm thinking about getting a new desk and I would like to make it a standing desk. What would you consider looking out for when getting one for this hobby specifically?
Make sure it goes tall enough. There are standing desks that only go to what is a comfortable keyboard height, and then there are standing desks that go up to 48 inches, 49 inches. I would get the one that, I don't know how tall you are, but I would get one that has a max height of somewhere in that 48 to 50 inch range, as opposed to one that's just meant to get your keyboard to comfortable height. We have ours raised to the point where I have to sling a keyboard underneath it to be at comfortable typing level, because your painting surface is higher than where you want your keyboard.
Panic Bomb, you painted 16 trees again? What? Yesterday? 16 trees? 465 day streak.
Sugar Rush says, get the standing desk that has 4 legs, not 2. Ours only have 2, but they're really sturdy.
Yours, surprisingly, I was about to say that. Get one that's sturdy. Yours is pretty solid.
I bought the tabletops from IKEA.
And then you bought the mechanism
separate? And the mechanism from Amazon. Or maybe I got them all from Amazon, but I got the mechanism from Amazon, and I think the standing desk legs were close to $200.
Depends on if yours is just a crank, though.
It's a manual crank, not automatic.
Yeah.
Right.
Mine's...
At my house, though, for my new painting setup there, I got the automatic one from Amazon because these are old. Now, for the same price, you can get the automatic raise lower that's also 2 legs, but it's super sturdy.
Yeah. Huh. Modular railroad trees, nice.
He does not sit on a ball. He's at a standing desk, too.
No, I've got a standing desk. Nice, Panic Bomb. Sounds fun. Sitback says... First step or one step yellow is an absolute cheat code.
It's a beast, isn't it?
For a single coat.
So good.
It's definitely very vibrant out of the bottle.
All right, that was dark green brown and then green brown. Now we got to figure out what we're going to go over the top of green brown with. I think it could be, I think caramel's too close. I think khaki. Could we use khaki? Or does that make it too yellow? That makes it too yellow. We go straight to bone, maybe? I think bone.
TK421 says the Costco standing desk is pretty good. Or it's really good. Chaos Devil Painting says, how do you feel about enamels, Jason?
I don't like any heavy solvent paints anymore. There was a time where I would have loved them, but I think they're just too niche now. I don't ever need them for anything. I can paint everything I would ever want to paint with simply acrylics. There are things that they can do that, you know, when we want to talk about cheat codes and stuff, that enamels and oils will do and make very simple to achieve. But I'm not a fan of the cleanup, the heavy solvent, the fact you have to have different brushes. It's just so much easier to go straight to using acrylics and not worry about it, because I can clean everything the same way. Just much easier for me. I'm a lazy painter, so I've moved entirely to acrylics. Even though growing up, of course, there were tons of enamels, tons of oils. I've used everything out there. Lacquers. And in the automotive world, same thing. They definitely have their place. They do some fun stuff. But yeah, I'm over heavy solvents. I don't find that there's any need for them, and I think they're actually, they hamper you as you're learning the hobby. They kind of cloud the message a lot when people are like, oh, but you should use oil washes for that. And a new painter is going to be like, what do you mean? And there used to be a time where you gained a lot out of it, but nowadays I don't think so. Now with stuff, especially with like us coming out with Noosh, there's now ways that you can achieve very similar results with water-based.
Dilfer says, I do wish I could panel line as easily as thinned oil paints will, but I don't want to dick around with the harsh chemicals either. Yeah, that's kind of the bummer about oils, right?
So, and this is going to sound, you know, a little maybe cynical or whatever, but I'm not cynical, probably wrong word, but get more focused in your painting to not need to darken panel lines. Like, change your process to where you don't have your panel lines brighten up as you apply other colors. Stop beginning your model in the midtones, right? Start your model in the dark tones, and you never see me need to panel line, but I have very good panel lining on, you know, more realistic. It's not going to be super Gundam, you know, cartoony, but, you know, very simple to maintain the contrast on, you know, tank panels and things like that, just by not painting them with bright colors and starting with a dark base. And then your panel lines are always dark because you didn't put any bright colors in them. That's why I teach the dark to light painting method, because it really helps not ever need that. You don't have to go back and use a lot of washes if you do that. You don't have to go back and mess around in the shadows a whole lot. Now, if you want to darken them up, you can. We use Noosh over here, right? And show just panel lining with Noosh. And of course, you can get, you know, that crazy Gundam cartoony contrast on them if you want that. To me, that's a little overblown. That's like more what it would look like in the junkyard than in realism, but it looks good at scale. But you can do all of that with Noosh and acrylics. But the whole painting dark to light and making sure that you're not putting your bright colors into your dark recesses does 90% of the heavy lifting for you. And then you don't have to worry about it ever.
Washes are just a nice cheat code for lazy painting, I think. But yeah, this stream has taught me a lot of good ways to not need to wash every single model.
Well, use them strategically for what they offer. Washes are great. Don't ever get me wrong. I use them a lot. But I don't use them as all-over shaders for my model. I build all my contrast and my values in through my natural painting. And then you use the wash to, you know, alter... maybe can you back out just a little bit?
Yeah.
I feel like this guy's big enough that I need to
1 second.
Have him not be so tight in.
How's that feel?
Can you go out further on the puck? Or yeah, in from that one. Yeah, something like that. It's good.
There we go.
Because they work great as filters. They work great as adding back in shadows in specific areas rather than just glomming them all over the model.
Yeah.
And if you can get to that level, it doesn't mean I don't glom them all over metallic still and things like that. I do. I still use them for exactly the way I used them 15 years ago.
Washes, you mean?
Is to just get an overall shade on a model if I'm painting something quick.
Yeah.
So I'm right there with you. They offer a whole lot in terms of being able to make things expedient when you need them. but you don't have to rely on them, right? Rely on your own building of values, even when painting fast. And then use something like like one step becomes sort of a pseudo wash when you put it over a value sketch that knocks out color and everything all at once.
Haley says, I cracked open a new bottle of y'all's yellow ochre paint. Okay. And I noticed it was a little on the thicker side. When I applied it to the project I was working on, sculpted air dry clay sealed with Mod Podge and primed with red oxide, it got almost crackle-like effect in the surface. I was working rather quickly, so maybe I didn't allow enough time to dry?
You didn't allow the paint underneath to dry, yeah. Especially if you were using Mod Podge. Realize Mod Podge is a long, dry product.
Yeah, I definitely have, with Mod Podge, I let that dry a long time.
So yeah, anytime you have cracking or orange peeling or something like that, it's because a base layer didn't dry to the point of being able to accept paint over the top of it. And you put paint and it was still off gassing. And that gas caused the cracks. Different acrylics will do it in different ways. That's your problem. That's another reason I don't like enamels and oils. Is because you have a hard time painting over them in what most people think is a quick enough manner to meet their hobby needs. You know, it's weird because of the same conversation you hear people talk about speed painting and then oil washes. And I'm like, okay, those two don't really fit together very well.
Oil washes and speed painting?
Well, yeah, because an oil wash, you need to let that thing cure for 48 to 72 hours before you put acrylics over the top, or you really risk the idea of your paint doing exactly what he's mentioning. Starting to give away orange peel or textures and things like that. Even the fast dry oils still need a bunch of time before they're set to paint over.
Scorchers, I've learned from this stream that if I focus on learning to paint well first, then that will lead into painting faster. The
100%.
Other way around isn't really beneficial.
100%. Yeah. The other way around is beneficial in terms of getting you involved in the hobby. You know, like I say, and why we decided to make one-step paints and such was because I'm with you 100%. You've nailed it. That's my mentality, is learn to focus on your skill. And once your skill raises, then you can focus on efficiency, right? There's no need to focus on efficiency when you don't even know how to do the thing, right? So there's a whole line to travel down there. But there is a world where being able to have products that, you know, do the base coat, wash, you know, highlight mentality, make somebody really comfortable painting and seeing some cool success early on that might make them stay or not stay in the hobby. Because the hobby is not an easy thing to do, right? It's not easy to pick up a brush for the first time and start painting a model. And it sounds silly because, of course, it's easy to do. Well, but it isn't, right? When you think about returning value for the time spent. So many people get into the hobby thinking that, oh my God, you know, I saw my friend's models, they look so cool. And then as soon as their models don't look cool, that could be the make or break point for keeping them in the hobby. So, you know, I think that having the ability to have quick application tools when you're starting makes perfect sense. Just then have those tools grow with you as you start to then branch out and want to get better. And you will find the frustrating part is it takes you longer to paint models as you focus on more and more techniques. And then you get into the rhythm of, okay, but yeah, once I practice, once I get the time put in, then it becomes quicker to do those techniques. Because you know the corners to cut once you've learned all the corners. It's hard to say what you should and shouldn't do to speed things up when you don't even know how to do all the things.
Swifter Bear saying, do we have any tutorials based on crystal or like crystal tutorials? Not off the top of my head. Swifter Bear says, I get the basics of darker colors towards the center and bright edge highlighting, but something's not clicking for the transition from the darker color to the bright edge for painting crystals.
Well, remember, it's not just that. You're generally, when painting crystals, you've got facets, like flat faces all over it.
Okay.
And so you've got to pick the flat faces that face the light, and those become nearly white, or whatever your brightest reflective color is. So not just edges. It won't look right if you just do dark centers, bright edges. That's your starting point. But you want to make sure that as you go, you're doing more to pick certain facets that are facing the light and brighten those entirely. Things like that. It's hard because they're all such unique shapes that it's a difficult one to say, here's how you paint a crystal. Because depending on the shape of the crystal is going to determine a lot of what you do. But yeah, you're on the right line where you're like, listen, the inside of a translucent thing, unless lit from the inside, is going to be darker, and then it's going to get brighter around the edges. But you want to make sure that you've got certain faces on it that are lit up, very bright
Oh.
at the same time.
Bald man, if you're still out there, Jason started painting that BattleTech like limited time Big Mech October 29th, 2024.
Wow, that's been a long time.
Yes. Yes, it has.
Yes, it has.
I think, yeah, it's just about. A long time, Jason.
Been doing this a long time. It's silly to me to think that, there's still models sitting around on a shelf that you're like, when did we paint those? Oh, it was 8 years ago. What? Yeah, it was 8 years ago. We did that. Did I hear that right? 8 years?
Lumberjack Chris, what year were you born? 1942.
Incorrect.
Thank you for asking.
I don't know why he lies to you people so much.
No, I think it was 1958, technically.
No, it wasn't.
So,
What does technically mean?
technically.
Ah.
Technically speaking.
Hey, Alex, when was Chris born?
Don't you tell him. Don't you tell him. 1960.
Not even.
4.
There you go.
He's such a liar.
Good.
Such a
Good.
liar.
I'm torn. You both could probably fire me.
No, I can't.
He can't fire you
He can't.
for
no.
that. I can.
Can he put in a request to fire me?
Can I put in a request right this minute to
Yes.
fire Alex?
Yes, you may. I will not accept it.
Don't you do it.
You hear that?
1980 what?
1891. What's going on, Dallas?
Hi, Dallas.
I'm 52 years old, for
He's
all of you who
not.
wanted to know. So
Okay.
do that math,
Dallas
Lumberjack.
coming in chat.
That's why I was
Do you have a
painted.
problem with your age, Chris?
Me? No. I've said it multiple times.
Did
His
you hear him
first wife
sniff,
does.
Chat? That was the dead
Unfortunately, I have horrible allergies right now
giveaway. He says that every day, Chat.
because it's a fact that I have horrible allergies.
Right now, he's allergic to the truth, it seems.
I'm allergic to y'all.
Dang.
There it is. No, I just turned 52. So, do the math, Lumberjack. I don't know.
I'm tired.
He did not turn 52.
No free pub for Dallas.
He did
There are no
not
plants
turn-
in Phoenix. Dallas? You don't know that?
He did not turn 52.
I am allergic to chat, Commando Ken. That's what I'm really allergic to.
Ugh.
Is that 52 or 52? Thank you, Papa Chicken. 52 for sure. I thought Chris was 93. That's what I tried to tell all of you.
That's what Spotify told us.
Then why was the
It's true.
Why was
It's
that
truth.
painted in 2024? I don't know what you're talking about. Greg's 1974. Thank you. That's when I was born.
No, he wasn't. He's not a 70s baby.
Dallas, there are so many plants in Arizona. What are you talking about?
Cacti count, right?
They are
Pokey
plants.
plants.
There's
There you
literally
go.
a plant right behind Jason.
That's plastic.
No, it's
Shh, you didn't have to tell him that.
I do. I tell the
not.
truth to my
Rooster was
friends.
broken.
I don't lie to my friends.
Some
Like you
have
people.
rain.
It must be a family thing.
We do rain. It does rain.
Definitely a family thing. We're going to have to ask his mom a lot of questions on Mother's
No, it's
Day.
She'll be honest with
2024. Lumberjack.
Mama Sushi's going to answer for a lot of discretions on Mother's Day. Better prep her.
Plastic plants don't count. They do count. It's right there. He doesn't. Jason doesn't actually know if that's a real plant or not. What if it was this whole time?
It's not.
Okay.
The whole time?
I know it's
The
not
whole
because it's
time? The
never
whole
been
time?
watered.
I take care of that thing very well.
No, you don't.
Yeah, feel it. It's a real fern.
Christopher
Don't feel
tends
it.
to
Don't
all the
do it,
plants in the
Jason.
building.
No, that's fake. That one's fake. That one's real.
This is fake as fake gets. That, like, I can literally pull the branches off of.
No, Gandalf.
No, that'll hurt it.
It's alive. Since Chris always seems to
This is
have
my
an issue
life
on
chat.
stream, maybe he's allergic to the paint. No. The reality is, I have horrible allergies. Unfortunately, I suffer a great deal. I even had my little nose thing today in house.
I'm surprised you didn't wear the Breathe Right on stream.
It's all I need to hear is that for the rest of my life.
You already
Throwing
gave him
Chris's
enough
nose.
crap
No
about
free
it.
pub. I already told you that. We haven't got them as a sponsor. No free pub. I'll die before we get free pub.
Thanks,
get free
Wad.
pub
We
all
make
the
a lot
time.
of those references.
We
When
literally
does
get
this
free
turn
pub
into
all
a
the time.
roast of Chris? Us. It's what do you mean? It's that every day. I'm not eating the paint, Tech Elf. What are we doing? Where's my little? There it is. This is a serious business painting stream. No more of this fake plants. Dallas, you coming in here and saying plants aren't real. Birds aren't, but I
Birds
turn
are definitely not real. You've never seen a baby pigeon, right?
Oh.
Isn't that what Jen said? You've never ever seen a baby pigeon. Pigeons
That's a
aren't
good.
real.
That's a very.
Maybe they
astute
hide
thing.
them.
I've never seen a baby pigeon.
You've never seen a baby
The
pigeon.
pigeons hide their young.
Jen read that once, and now she swears by it because she's like, "They're right." And I'm like, "They are," because I think back in my 56 years, never once. There's no baby pigeons. There's just pigeons everywhere, but there's no nests. There's no babies. There's no eggs.
That's a good point, man. That's very astute. They're only eating zoo or museum popcorn.
Wirehead, of course,
What a
has to
life.
come in and say, "We had a nest outside our apartment." Or were they real pigeons?
Did you eat the baby pigeon?
Or were they government pigeons?
It was just an illusion. Dallas says plants are real, just not in Phoenix. There's plants out there, Dallas.
Dallas, there really are plants here.
We have plants.
We do have plants. They're called cacti, but, you know.
No, we don't condone the eating of paint. So don't do any of that.
Don't eat the paint.
Tech Badger. I turned on the stream just in time to witness Jason hurting a poor defenseless fern. Why, Jason? Why?
I didn't do anything to that fern. I said I could tear it apart because they were saying it was real, and I know it isn't.
Plants
I'll
can
fight
feel
that
threats.
I did not do anything untoward to
Blood
that
drunk.
plant.
We don't drink any kinds of things. No shots of known oil. Don't put anything in your mouth that's
Period?
not food.
Oh. You took a while on that?
Pigeons just spawn directly from allies in city.
Yes. True.
I have Lego plants. Do those count? Yes, technically.
I don't see why not.
Lumberjack, I want Chris to come to PA this time next year. Chris, come visit me. I live in this studio. I haven't seen the light of day for 2 years.
Liar. He leaves here on time every day. We just gave him Fridays off, chat.
I don't know about that. I feel like that's like one of the Twilight episodes starts. Chris, You haven't been working Fridays for 2 years now. What? Tech Elf, if there was only a way to look things up on your computer, maybe ask it a question. Tech Elf, don't bring your science into my fantasy.
Science.
The pollen here would kill Chris. Probably. I like dry, nothing going on.
He's an Arizona boy for sure.
Jason, why do you prefer? And I'm assuming radish waffles. Could you tell us why Chris prefers a glass palette over a wet palette? That's Jason. I'm Chris. Your first time chatting. Welcome in. Jason is that guy painting.
Hi.
I'm Chris. Chris does prefer a glass palette because I've learned, I would say, 100% of additional painting techniques from Jason.
For me.
So
he's picked up all my bad habits.
I do not use a wet palette ever. But Jason, why do you, great segue, why do you prefer the dry palette?
So I'm a person that likes to make sure that my paint is always starting from the same point, and wet palettes consistently dilute your paint as the paint sits on the palette. So you're after 5-10 minutes of having your paint on the palette, it's not the same way as it was when it came out of the bottle. For a lot of paints in our hobby space, that doesn't really matter because they're almost too thick to use right out of the bottle. And so being a little diluted helps them flow. And so people don't really recognize it. We make our paints, and I've always tried to use paints no matter what brand at a level where I dilute them myself. And then the wet palette continues to over wet them and make it to where they're always at the wrong opacity or fluidity for me. And I'm constantly throughout my session having to change. The glass palette is just like a piece of paper or anything else to dry. It just makes sure that every time I go over to the droplet, it's the same paint it was when I got it out of the bottle. So I know exactly how to dilute it to do what I'm trying to do on the model at any given time. That's it. There's nothing really fancy about it. That's the story. It's a control freak thing. I want to make sure that every time I go to the paint, I know exactly what to do to get the opacity or dilution that I need to, glaze, filter, layer, wet blend, whatever it is I'm trying to do on the model at the time.
I started using a glass palette because of Jason. I use both depending on what I'm doing and as I get used to the glass. I think I've used a wet palette once in my life.
I've used them a lot. There's a really good, reason to use wet palettes, especially if you're doing a project with tons of mixes, or if the way you paint is to use colors sparingly and do a lot of blending of those colors on the palette. Then a wet palette is a godsend because it can keep your mixes wet longer, so you don't have to constantly re-wet or remix your paints. But I'm so used to just, remixing my paints that it doesn't bother me at all. There were no wet palettes, and I'm old, so that's the real story. Wet palettes were not even a thing when I started painting. Old dog, no new tricks. Don't show me new tricks.
Don't tell me what to do.
Don't tell me what to do.
That's right.
I get, like when I went on top with John and Miniac.
Yes.
They got a kick out of harassing me about the wet palette thing. They're like, so you're pretty negative about wet palettes, and the rest of the world loves them. Would you like to defend your position?
In a court of law.
In a court of law. I was like, no, you bastards. You're all wrong.
No, I'm not crazy. You're crazy.
You've transitioned to a glass palette after watching the channel and feel like you can never go back to the wet palette now. Yeah, it makes sense for me. I don't.
We got to clean that palette, Jason.
You do.
I do.
Yeah. Slacking.
I have one cooking right now.
Slacking.
In the bin.
Slacking. Wet palette is situational. Yeah.
No, this one's still you're still technically on this project, so I can't clean this yet.
Yeah, because if you go over to the palette, Chris,
yeah,
I'll show you kind of the way that I paint. The bulk of my painting is, all of my painting is done this way. I've got this color on the palette, right? And I have the droplet, And what you'll see me do is take a certain amount of water on my brush and pull a tail off of the droplet over here to paint with. That's why my whole palette is circles of color or ellipses of color and then tails drawn off of those. And it's funny because sometimes when my palette gets loaded up, there's a lot of directionality to my painting, or wherever I have it positioned, I pull my paint literally downward out of the droplet all the time. So you have all these drops and then squidges coming down from them. So it kind of takes on its own life. But I'll pull some paint out, and then here's where I do my dilution. I haven't altered the droplet, even though I had a lot of water on the brush. I just touched the side of it, pull the paint down here, and here's where I'm diluting the paint. So this was a lot of water. This now becomes more of a glaze. So if I come over here onto my thumb palette, this isn't going to be super opaque. That's going to let the color show through a little bit, as you see.
Yeah.
Right. And so then I can come back over here, and if I don't want it opaque, or if I don't want it translucent, then I can come back, dry my brush off, pull a tail down here, and now I come back over here, and now I've got, straight up the paint at full vibrancy or saturation, right? And then I can make the decision back and forth on how I want to use it on the palette, so that, because on the model, what happens when you've really started to find your pace in painting is that there is no, let me think about this. I don't want to say there's no, it's less likely that you stop layering and then start glazing on the model in stages, right? To where it's like, I base coat, then I do my layers, then I do my glazes, then I do my highlights. That's not really how painting happens, because all of those stages happen multiple times within every shape on the model. Base coating maybe only happens once. Okay, so you base coat your model, you're done. And then you start doing your layering, but in your layering, like if you watch my video on Just Do This, I show you how you're alternating between opaque and translucent layers in the same color multiple times. So it's not that you're just glazing or just layering, you're trading off between them, because that's how you get really smooth blends without having to put a lot of effort into it, and without doing 16 layers of glazes. You get it very quick, right? Because you're using opacity when opacity is necessary, and translucence when translucence is necessary, and you use them together. So there's less of this, it's the time we do the glazes. That's not really it. Now, you may develop a technique of your own or follow somebody that you've seen that does paint that way and get good results. That's fine. I'm not saying you can't paint that way. I'm just saying that in the normal course of painting, you're typically switching all your tools as you go. Imagine working in a wood shop. You don't do all your sanding at once. You do a cut, then you sand, then you refine, then you cut, then you sand, then you refine and plane and sand, and you're always using your tools at the right time for the right part in the job. And that's exactly like painting. So that's why the wet palette doesn't do very well for me. The dry palette allows me to always have the correct tool out of the paint droplet, whereas the wet palette is constantly diluting the original droplet. And at some point in time, it becomes unusable. I can't get back to the full opacity I really wanted the color for.
A says, I used prime for the first time today. The taupe looks so thick, I thought there was no way it would spray. I was wrong.
Sprays like a champ. Yeah.
I primed an entire combat patrol with dark purple and zenithal of red oxide for berserkers and taupe for the jackals. Nice.
Awesome.
It sprayed better than any airbrush paint and didn't clog once. Rest of the primer colors are in my basket and will be ordered this Friday. Nice.
Awesome. Glad you had a good time with it, because
That's good.
That's what we built them for, was to make sure that you got really good spray and really minimal cleanup. Just treat them like a normal paint. They shouldn't stain the cup and cause you any kind of distress. Like I was always distressed because I had to have a priming only airbrush, because so many of the primers I would use over the years would color the cup, and you couldn't get them out,
right?
Without heavy solvent like turpentine cleaning or stuff like that. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that.
Horns fan, we don't do pre-orders typically, so there's no pre-orders for One Step, but your store can, right, Jason?
Yep. We do pre-orders for retailers only. We don't do customer pre-orders.
Yeah.
And the reason for that, we do it, I always say we don't want to take your money until we have the product, is really the way we do our business around here with customers. The retailers, like hobby stores, we treat a little bit differently, so that we can make sure they've got the product on release day whenever we launch it on the stream or on the website. It's very important that they have access to it at the same point, so they get to do pre-orders.
Ghost Hunter saying, Jason, why does a faction that calls itself Chaos look so uniform?
You're trying. I know what you're doing.
Yeah, Ghost Hunter, you can't.
You're
hide
trying to
that one.
derail the conversation because you know that'll get me every time.
See what they try to do, Jason?
Yep.
I have to protect you.
You're not. You just read the
I
damn
know.
question.
That's what happens when the shield goes down.
But the shield didn't go down. You read the question.
It did go down. Just a little bit.
How?
Just in a moment of weakness.
You can't have moments of weakness.
That's true. I must continue on.
This is my life.
Okay, I stepped to the newsletter, so I'll wait to hear. Yes, that is the perfect way to do that, Horns fan. We'll let you know when that will be announced. You will definitely know the date when that will go live.
We're looking at about when's the first?
I
think it's like 3 weeks.
This week.
The first is this week?
Yes.
Oh, so it's like only maybe 2 more weeks after this.
After this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We'll let you know the date.
That's our target.
So what's the difference between
It's
Space
coming up.
Marines and
Holy cow,
Ultramarines?
that's awesome, by the way. I'm just not realizing how awesome that is.
Yes.
Super close.
And we let you all know on our socials too, Horn. So make sure
to join the Discord and keep
Yeah.
hanging on stream too, because we always let the Discord group know first.
Potentially, we'll have to figure out when we're doing the challenge review, Jason.
When is the first?
This Friday.
Friday? Not Friday. We'll do it next week sometime.
We'll let you know. And he sprays, or Herumfenstein, he does 22 psi.
Yeah. Our compressor is set, or the valve in here is set at, the regulator is set at 22 all the time. It doesn't really ever move unless it gets bumped somehow. There's no need. I don't ever adjust up or down for spraying techniques or anything like that. I've been painting long enough that I can pretty much do everything I need to at one level of spray.
Darth says, so what's the difference between Space Marines and Ultramarines?
Is real question?
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Darth Molson, you were just yanking my chain, as the kids would say.
The Ultramarines are dialed up to 11. You see, this one goes to 11.
The Ultramarines are Ultra Space Marines. There you go. I'm painting a bust of Doctor Strange with 16 arms on him. Why? Why? Great question. Why are you doing that?
I love it.
Sounds cool, though.
I love it.
I'm not gonna lie.
That is like the coolest ever scene of Doctor Strange in the books and in the movie, where his arms do the sweep around him in that crazy Hindu god style. So awesome.
Horns fan says, how is one step when applied through an airbrush? Can it be glazed or does it actually still have one step properties?
No, it doesn't have one step properties to the airbrush because you atomized it now.
It's a glaze and it's awesome.
Ridiculously good to the airbrush. I think that people are going to be blown away for their airbrushing. They're just going to, I would suspect that there are going to be people who are going to tell us, I bought it strictly for airbrushing.
Yeah, that's how
because it makes your airbrush filters just so incredibly easy that it's not funny. It really does. It's great.
Yeah, we
got a video coming out on it where we painted just a really fast salamander terminator, right? So just a very quick black and white zenithal, and then just filtered it over the top of that, and it's just perfect. This is, zoom in close. Mm-hmm. This is the way it is without the dry brush, right? So that's just one quick pass over everything and filling in the gaps, and then I just dry brushed it with, I believe, bright pale green.
Yeah.
On the front side here.
Yep.
So you can see, I literally would paint the metallic bits on this and just call it a Marine.
Yeah.
Put the basing on it, paint the metallic bits, the guns, the lenses on the eyes, and be done. It's too easy. And then, of course, when you want to do big vibrant base coats on stuff, we did this entire big blue spider Jeromogo model with the blue and purple. You can layer it. I filtered the purple in after the blue into the shadows. And this is, again, just over a zenithal top coat. So it can do all sorts of crazy stuff for you. Too good. Doesn't act like a wash or one step at all. But unlike spraying a wash that doesn't give you any color because the wash is too translucent and needs to flow like a wash in order to do its job, these are just so good through the airbrush. They give you a good level of saturation without having to really try hard. And then, of course, you can thin them however you like. So if you'd like to tone them down and not have them be as impactful, you can do that. Turn them into whatever kind of filter you need.
Darth says, Jason loves to rile us up with product we don't have access to.
Hey.
Hey.
It's the pre-sale.
Hey.
It's the get you excited part.
We don't do pre-orders here. We do...
Pre-excitement.
There it is. That old cat. So many people on stream today. Yes, we had a meeting, Philip.
We didn't invite you.
You're not part
Rude.
of that meeting.
Rude?
Harumpfenstein. I love that name.
Yeah, it's great. I need to say harumph more often.
I could see it.
It feels like it fits me.
It's totally
I'm a very
your vibe.
harumph kind of guy.
It's absolutely your
Like
vibe.
that's my new thing.
Say it.
Anytime
Can you do
anytime
harumph?
Chris talks to me, I'm just harumph.
Can you use it in a sentence?
I Harumpfenstein.
It is
this
not
tree
a word
today.
that is meant for that type of grammatical usage. It is an expletive.
I was pleased when the harumph
Harumph.
went to the grocery store.
The
It's not
harumph.
a thing. The harumph is not a
So
noun.
now it's a noun, yeah. How many syllables?
Dallas says, I didn't get a harumph out of that guy. Mel Brooks.
Such a
I
great
took
word.
the harumph to coffee.
Such a great
I've used
word.
it in many sentences, by
Harumph.
the way, if you haven't
Thank
caught
you.
on to this. You need more umph
in
for
your
a good
harumph.
harumph. Oh.
But oh,
Oh.
That was a mishit.
the flatulence.
That's what I meant to do.
The flatulence is real.
Speaking of flatulence,
Welcome in, everybody.
there it is. Somebody's got to do it. Welcome in, everybody. We're so glad you're here.
I told
on
you I
this
wouldn't do it
Monday.
anymore, and I have stayed true to my word.
We wouldn't flatulate?
Flatulate.
Ah.
Flatulate.
Mm.
We're bringing Mondays back here at Monument Hobbies. It's Monday. We got the whole crew here today. We've got Alex, Ryan, and Gabe.
Is that your name?
You said that with a question mark at the end. Not that he's like your best friend or anything.
It's Gabe,
Who is
right?
that?
We're so glad everybody's here.
Wizard's
Jason's here as well.
Hi, great. Oh, thanks. Yeah, as well. I'm just the hanger on at the end of the line there.
Mondays are for the Boosabu, ladies and gentlemen. And we're so glad you're here. Jason,
No, I'm not talking to you.
how are you painting these antlers here?
Harumph.
Oh.
Yeah, you deserve that one.
What if you could tell me this workup?
What
instead?
if?
Yeah,
The world would be a better place.
it would be. What is this workup, Jason?
Oh, now you're asking me to make the world a better place.
Yes.
Hmm.
Ah,
After treating me that way.
yes.
After the elder abuse that I suffer through today.
Let the record show there is no elder abuse at Monument Hobbies.
You don't get to say let the record show.
I do have a 12-gauge shotgun pointing at Jason at all times underneath the
underneath
desk.
the table. I'm staring. It's a double barrel sawed off right
That's
there.
right.
Under the table. I'm
Just in
always under
case
the
he
threat
gets-
of death by shotgun.
Just in case he gets too harumphy.
Harumph.
Harumphy.
Jason, how are you doing these antlers?
With paint?
Oh, I'm trying, chat. I'm trying really hard. Chris would never. That's right. All those models behind him. There's no models behind me.
So
Moving on.
we base coated with dark green brown. Then we did green brown. On
Dark
top of the green brown, I'm now doing dark ivory, but I mixed in the dark ivory kind of 50-50.
Okay.
And I did not do that here because we painted the green brown Friday
Right.
and based it, and then I just came in hot with the dark green brown with green brown, and then I mixed these two 50-50, and now I'm doing this by itself.
Gotcha.
So 3 colors. It's a neat color for bone.
Yeah.
Work up for bone. I like orange when I do bone, but sometimes not as much as using like burnt orange or orange oxide. Start with a base that's a little bit more brown. The dark green brown works great. The green brown over the top is awesome. It still has enough yellow to it to give it a tinge of warmth, and then you cool it back off with the dark ivory. And dark ivory on its own is pretty bright. You don't have to necessarily go up too much brighter than that. Depends on what you're trying to do. You could, layer up bright ivory over the top of that. Depends on how you want to use it.
Darth, did we release a khaki already?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Darth,
Finally.
Forever ago.
You know.
It only took a year and a half to release it, but,
Damage Inc.
it's been out for longer than it took to get it out.
Is it normal for it to seem like black green actually has rather poor coverage for such a dark color? I need several coats by brush to make it cover. It's easier to just airbrush.
It does airbrush better than it brushes for opacity. It is a lower opacity color.
Black green.
Black green, yeah. Depends on what you're trying to put it over. Over black is its intention, and it goes over black very well as a base. But if you're wanting to have it be something that goes over a brighter mid-tone or something like that, then you're gonna fight with it a little bit. You'll have to layer it. It's a big sigh, Chris.
Very
Big sigh.
deep sigh.
No need for that. You're fine.
Face fully resting on the microphone.
Sigavac says, bone me recipe, which you mean bond me, which is not allowed to be that silly. So,
It's a good sandwich.
Darth, I'm not reading that out loud.
Oh boy.
Don't. This is a family show.
There's a lady present.
Yes, there is.
I mean,
it's a stretch, but
let's pull that back a little bit, just a step or two. Lady's a little harsh. Lady's
Wow.
a little. That's a little.
Wow.
Little.
Wow.
fit into that category by default.
Dow says banh mi are perfect sandwiches. Thank you.
Wait, what?
You like banh mi's?
Never heard of it.
What?
A Vietnamese sandwich?
A Vietnamese. These knees.
Does it make
what
a
is
good
it?
peanut butter and jelly? Because otherwise, I don't care.
How would you describe a banh mi sandwich?
Banh mi sandwich.
Yeah. How,
It's pickled veggies.
yeah, you've had one.
Pork belly. A French roll. That was the best way to describe that.
Pork belly?
No.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like you would like them.
teriyaki.
I
Jason.
just said no.
Straight up pork belly.
it's pork belly.
Yeah, yeah.
I just said no.
Yeah.
Pork belly.
Not interested.
Yarls Tony says, look, Jason is a simple creature.
I
Just
am.
give him a cheesesteak.
Yes.
All right.
It's like a cheesesteak, but
No.
Without any of the
but with
cheese.
this fucking
But with no cheese. So it's not like a cheesesteak at all, actually, is what you're talking about.
Ooh. Now we're talking.
That's
what
fine.
kind of cheese?
talking about banh mi's.
I know.
They're
but if
super
you were-
tasty. Yes. Radish, I would agree with you. Banh mi's are one of my favorite sandwiches.
Gross.
Dip it in milk.
And for the finishing touch.
Yeah. A gallon of milk.
Gross.
Would you rather, Jason,
Oh, here we go.
Oh boy.
have, Zilfer saying, would you rather have a cheese steak cake or a cheesecake steak?
Yes.
Breakfast sushi.
Breakfast sushi's the big sell. People don't know, is it cheesecake steak or cheesesteak cake? And we go, yes. Which would you like?
We have both on the menu, and by
Yes.
we I mean Jason's restaurant.
Yes. Cheesesteak cake sounds delicious. It's like meatloaf, but cheesesteak,
Okay.
right? And cheesecake steak sounds delicious. Because it's grilled.
Cheesecake steak?
Yeah, it's just grilled.
Is that a thing?
I don't know if I feel how I feel about that.
Grilled cheesecake.
A banh mi can have a protein, pickled veggies, fresh veggies, and a. Okay, so I guess that's true, little Billy. That's the definition.
Dallas, bring your dessert sushi to my breakfast sushi because we have breakfast sushi and I've already got it all figured out. And it even made Jen. It even made Jen start to back the restaurant idea.
For what? Breakfast sushi?
Well, the breakfast sushi part of Slick Willie's feta chili
is what got Jen in.
Yeah,
that's how.
Until
Jen
she also
in.
realized that if you so Chris, you should know this because I believe your heritage is Italiano.
Okay.
But the sauce is sometimes referred to as a chili.
Okay.
Oh boy.
So do you know this?
Yes. So what's your point?
Do you know this?
I thought it was gravy.
It's both. You could say gravy, chili, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh.
So see, I'm not so dumb now, right?
Hey,
everybody's laughing
I'm
at me.
not so
Don't
Italian.
disrespect. Okay. Okay. So you're saying that the breakfast sushi is the big seller for Jen.
Yeah. She got behind the restaurant because of breakfast sushi. When I was at the airport pelting her with all my breakfast sushi ideas, she finally got it. It finally clicked.
So, Dallas, done. I'll make dessert sushi when I come back to Phoenix. You're gonna make dessert sushi in the desert, correct?
Yes.
Desert,
because
dessert, not
fish.
dessert.
It doesn't have fish in it, does it?
I wasn't gonna say anything.
Of course it does, Jason.
So what's the number one seller for breakfast sushi?
What's the number one seller for breakfast sushi? It's probably the spam and eggs.
Okay.
That's like
down.
kimbap.
It's probably the spam and eggs.
It's unoriginal.
Kimbap. Do you guys know what this is?
No.
Yes.
I don't know what anything you say is. Have you not
It's
learned that
Korean.
yet? You say banh mi, kimbap. You're just making stuff up over there
I'm
and
not.
expecting me to
Making
understand
sounds.
it. No, I was born in Texas. I'm a simple man. Peanut butter and jelly cheesecake. Cheesesteak.
You guys don't have
Pizza.
kimbap in Texas?
What? The heck?
Spam and eggs. I'm in,
Spam and eggs
Jason.
is not spam musubi. Spam musubi is totally different. What's that?
I won't.
What is it?
Gabe just sent me a picture.
What is it?
I'm very hesitant to show you. What is this? You chat. We are running a stream here. What are we doing?
That was from when we found our
Let's see if I can
acrylic
find
colors in the wild.
Oh.
Our team building activity.
Why?
I'm trying to run a business alongside Jason here.
Why?
These kids.
My computer does a thing where it shows you like.
I sure hope I paid them for that.
This is just a true.
On this day.
That's company IP.
Hey. We're back.
Oh,
This is serious business painting.
God.
You invited this, Jason.
I did.
You did.
I did.
You cannot blame me for this.
I cannot blame Chris. Well, I can because you agreed to it.
No, I said, "Are you sure?" You're like, "I would have done it," and I'm like, "Well, I do what Jason does. Here we go. Welcome in, kids."
Here we
Let's
are.
have you do less of what I do. That would be good. Be a good start for the future.
He's gotta leave now.
Be a good start for the future.
It's called a Boosabu.
It's a Boosabu.
And I decided
It's
that
not. It's a Moosabu because there is no
it's
bison.
This
in
is the
here.
bison part.
That's literally the moose part.
bison.
No,
part?
this is the moose part with the caribou. This is the moose, and this is the bison. It's so true. Jason, Boosabu is plural. It's like moose, right? Boosabu is plural. So Mondays are for the Boosabu is grammatically correct.
Correct.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's my team.
I apologize, Chad.
What's
I
it say on the box?
I apologize.
That would be a good. Yeah. What does it say on the box?
No, we don't look at the box.
Oh.
I have to apologize. We don't look at the box.
We don't look at the box. What's
what?
in the box, Wirehead? That's
What's
a
in the
great
box?
question.
What's in the box? Hit your wife's head.
Oh man.
If you give a Boosabu a cookie, he will spare me when he's blindside looking riders come in and murder everything? Yes.
What?
Jade, what's going on?
Hi, Jade.
What?
We're back on this painting train.
Boosabu, a cookie.
I explained to Jason the other day, if you give a mouse a cookie or if you give a pig a pancake.
Uh-huh.
He had never heard those stories. So I explained that to him because I said, if you give a Boosabu a paintbrush. And it was really good conversation.
I bet.
No, it really wasn't.
It was. We all learned something.
Sounds fascinating.
Wasn't that on Friday?
I love how you say we all learned something. The only thing I ever learn here is not to listen to you.
Psyker says, painting? I thought this was a restaurant pitch meeting. It gets that way if anybody mentions chili.
All right, chat, hear me out.
Yeah.
Slick Willie's Bedu Chili.
And they serve cheesecake steak and
Breakfast sushi
kimbap.
and cheesecake steak. No, we don't do kimbap. I don't even know what you're talking about.
They don't have kimbap in Texas.
Kimbap is a popular Korean dish consisting of cooked rice and various savory cooked ingredients,
No.
rolled in dried seaweed.
Gross.
It's sushi. It's
Cooked
literally the same
sushi.
thing without the fish.
Well, then it's not the same thing.
That's why it's called kimbap.
Kimbap.
Do you do DoorDash, says Wired? Oh boy, we do DoorDash, and I
Not
did-
anymore.
Why?
Because last night they canceled my dinner.
Oh, what?
What?
I didn't know they had the power to do that.
They have the power.
Who gave DoorDash so much power?
It's too much power.
There was a wreck in front of the restaurant I ordered from, and the DoorDash person was too lazy to park the car in the lot next door and walk to the restaurant to get the food.
Okay.
So this DoorDash person is allowed to cancel all the orders on their ticket. And it doesn't let you know. So I sat there waiting for my food for an hour, only to call the restaurant and be like, oh yeah, it's canceled. What do you mean it's canceled? Yeah, your DoorDasher canceled it.
Wow.
Kids
Why?
these days.
Well, we have a wreck out in front of the place, and a lot of DoorDashers don't want to walk to the restaurant. And I'm like, and they don't let you know? Apparently not. So yeah, that was a very mad at the world moment.
No, we have our own delivery system for Slick Willie's.
But we don't DoorDash. You got to come in and experience it. Come on.
Yeah. Come on.
Come on.
Come on.
You don't get to.
Come on.
You don't get to like order in Slick Willie's. It's the experience.
Like
You
one
have to
of
come
those places
in.
you
It's
throw
going to be
peanuts on the
like that
floor.
restaurant where they're really rude to you.
Gilborn says maybe the driver was the one in the wreck.
No. Incorrect.
I don't know.
It was that they were too lazy to go get the food.
No doors were dashed that day.
I didn't even know they used DoorDash. They use it as a third-party provider and say they have their own delivery service. So they're liars all the way around.
All right, Tech Badger says, Monument Hobbies.
Yes, that's us.
I met you at Gen Con a few years ago and asked for help painting wood decking for my dystopian fleet.
Awesome.
Suggested orange brown and dark orange brown from Flame On set.
Yep.
I've just started painting the decks and they look fantastic. Thank you, but I want to add a
Wait a
bit
minute.
more variation in the wood look. Suggestions.
Variation in the wood look. You could
Maybe
use
some
like
more-
khaki to start doing like graining, highlights, and things like that. If you want variation, filters over the top of it are your best way. Something like transparent brown as a really thin filter over the top can change portions of it, which is really neat. So you can do that. But if you wanted to do other planks in different colors, you could just swap entirely. Imagining like boards had been changed out for wood from other stops in different ports. So you could paint with, instead of the green browns, you could switch over to, or instead of orange browns, you could switch over to green browns so that they're less warm and a cooler shade of brown. That would be kind of fun.
And thank you so much for that sub. We're having a great time today.
You would never know it because Chris just keeps sighing like his life is ending. See?
Oh man.
Where does this even come from, Chris? You have the best life ever. Best life ever. He gets to go home and announce bingo for retirees in his local housing establishment. And
Housing establishment.
like I don't know how I could get any better for you, Chris. I just don't know.
Little Billy says, gotta run. Thanks for stream, Big Dog, especially marketing team for joining today. Hey, shout out to
See
Ryan.
you later, big dog.
Take it
And
easy,
Alex.
big dog.
I got a
Big
great
Billy.
life.
He has a great life.
And then I get challenged from 2 to 4 p.m. every day.
Challenged.
You guys keep me accountable.
Here we go.
You keep me strong.
Sometimes you have to step outside of your comfort zone in order to grow. Just a little tidbit.
Wisdom from Alex. That was good.
Thank you. Thank you.
I've got nothing left. Chris, for mayor of Fountain Hills, almost carefree. Vote for me.
Mayor of Fountain Hills.
Don't vote for me.
Why not? What kind of referendums would
I'm
you
running
bring?
an anti-me campaign.
You're running an anti-you campaign?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, 'cause
your whole
everybody-
campaign is don't vote for me?
Yeah, you know how everybody
Reverse
does it-
psychology?
Yeah, everybody does it against their opponents. I'm the opposite. I do it against myself. So I'm like, yeah, that
Okay.
guy's right.
Okay.
You shouldn't.
Okay.
But
Your
maybe
ads are
you
like-
should.
Okay.
In a world
Interesting
where Chris is
strategy.
mayor.
Bold move, Cotton.
Plants everywhere immediately. City budget goes to the landscaping. Wake Titan hobby question. I'm looking for a wash for the dark bronze. Brown wash or transparent brown aren't dark enough, but I don't want it black. Any suggestions?
Okay.
Two aren't dark enough, but don't want it black. Wow, that's a fine line there.
Multiple layers aren't doing it of brown?
Maybe.
Put on one, let it dry, put on another. You can layer washes like that. It works really well. If you want a single application color that's just darker, you could make a wash out of like black brown, but it's a very neutral brown, so it's not going to have the warmth associated that the brown wash does. I guess I'd have to know what kind of look you're going for. I typically don't have any problem with the brown wash over bronze. It looks pretty good, but I might have to do like 2 layers.
Chuck says, in today's episode of Adventures in Machine Shops, our VP of Sales told me I don't know how to measure a part and that I'm an idiot and an a-hole. I about lost it. Chuck, I don't blame you.
Are you still employed,
I
Chuck?
would have cried.
Nah, yada. Is that what you
Harumph.
did?
Are you still employed?
Harumph.
It was a rumph. Let's see, just look at him, Chuck, and go, harumph.
I could see Chuck be like, yada.
Yada. Bang, zoom, Alice.
Scorched Earth, I gotta take off. Hey, take it easy. Thank you for a great stream. Thanks for joining in. Monument Marketing Team. Hey,
On you marketing team.
Scorched Earth. We're
Take it
close.
easy.
I'm still employed. Good. I just turned around and walked out of the meeting. Hey, Chuck, that took strength. It did. I'm sure it did. Always sucks when your loved ones yell at you and demean you in front of so many people. You
It
know?
does. I don't know why you keep doing it to me.
Yeah. It's got a weird one who flew over the cuckoo's nest situation going on over here.
What did one flew over the cuckoo's nest have to do with anything?
That's the point.
What point?
I have nothing.
There he goes again, sighing.
Hey, Ann says, any idea when the Sable brushes are coming back in stock? I'm trying to get my grubby hands on some brushes from you guys.
Great question. I don't have a really good answer. Keep checking in with us here on the stream, and we'll keep you posted. We have the ability to make some more US brushes, but I don't know when production's going to get it on the schedule to get enough to get on the store. So, like the brushes that I'm using, these with the natural handle and the red dip on the end are our United States made sables, and we have the ability to make quite a few of them, but I don't know where they are on the production side on making all that happen. An oldie but goodie that we don't see near enough these days.
Why is that, Jason?
I've been painting a lot of more chromatic blacks and nothing in the neutral space, just using grays to build up to black. I've been using, blues and a lot of Payne's gray. But for these leather straps, we're going just straight grays, baby.
Gilborn says, did you offer on the new HQ get accepted? Says Gilborn.
Did the offer on the new HQ, the lease that we were trying to do?
Yeah.
They're in a holding pattern waiting for us right now.
No, you were mentioning there was another building on stream that you liked. Remember?
Another building?
Yeah, the one across the street.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's a lease.
Oh,
and
okay.
so it's not an offer. We told them that we would take it. We needed to let them know what was going on with the offer on our building here before we could really commit, to which we're still waiting on that. So.
Check-spocking Orger, do you plan on holding another painting class soon in Gavers Guild North?
Jordan had a blast, and I think everybody that went really enjoyed it. So we would love to do more.
Yeah.
We just need to work with the team there at Gamers Guild to figure out what they need from us to make that happen and get it put together. Yeah, we would love to. We'd love to do more stuff, on our own as well. So that's one of the big keys that we are looking at is to, do we keep the building that we're streaming from right now? If this purchaser that has an offer on it right now keeps being rough to deal with, because I'm in no mood to play games with people that want to
we don't play
take
games.
Advantage of us. And that seems to be the method of the day when it comes to commercial real estate. So we'll see. But we've wanted to open up an experience center here locally for a long time that would allow us to have classes and events of all types at our own facility. So we'd really like to do that, be able to do like First Fridays and some real fun stuff. But I don't know where that sits in our timeline. Speaking of timelines, I mentioned on stream a while back that I was watching that show Dark.
Yeah.
Holy mind screw. Were there people in chat? I can't remember how many people in chat had watched it.
Dark?
Dark. The German show.
I haven't.
Netflix.
I remember you were mentioning it. I haven't checked it out yet.
It's incredible.
Oh, that's good.
But I'm into the last season, which is season 3, and it's an absolute chore to try to keep up with what else going on. They completely rug pull you into this other world that now I don't know any of the characters, and it's so hard to keep up. I'm like, I don't know what's happening.
Danger Boy says, I'm starting to practice the workup for that wood armor look.
Yeah.
After I feel comfortable with it, could I move to dry brushing that workup for the whole army?
Yeah. Yeah, I think dry brushing would work really well on doing it quick, like if you were doing like Dryads or Sylvaneth or something like that. Could be really neat. I think you're still forced at the wood grain level of painting the grain on regardless. You're not going to get that detail. So if the models don't have a wood grain texture in the plastic, it could be a little bit of a bummer.
So interesting.
To do a ton of models.
Sigavax says, I would gladly come to AZ for a 3-day painting masterclass.
Yeah.
That could be really fun, actually.
Yeah, we'd love to have you. We were thinking about things like that, like long weekend stays, being able to work with, we have good hotels and stuff in the area, so, we could get good deals. People have asked us a lot in kind of tongue-in-cheek and half, meaning it, if we would ever do like a MonuCon type thing. And if we had an experience center, we might not do like a full-on convention, but it would give us the ability to have some fun with events like that, where we could have like a full-on painting excursion where we do something fun, come in town for 3 or 4 days, long weekend, hang out with the crew, get a tour, get really, really focused painting done, maybe with multiple artists, where you do an 8-hour session each day with a different artist, and come for like 4 or 5 days and have 4 or 5 artists, so you could sit and learn a lot from a bunch of different people. Yeah, we have all sorts of great, grandiose plans. It's a matter of the space and time to make it happen for us. You over there typing?
I am looking up. I was looking up who produced Dark. I'm very interested in that show.
They had done the show. I had started watching Dark when it
I was just super curious.
first came out, and
Yeah.
then I don't do TV very well,
Yeah.
and I probably wasn't paying attention, and it just kind of lost me, because
Okay.
you have to pay attention to it. It is
Yeah.
it is definitely a show that you cannot walk away from and then come back a month later and hope to pick up, because it requires you to really think, which I'm a big fan of. I like very cerebral adult themed movies or shows, and it is that. It's time travel too, so it really screws with you.
Yeah.
But they're the same production group that did that 1899 show that I really liked. I was really bummed that they canceled the one about the
1899.
Yeah, it was about a steamship in 1899
Okay.
that was traveling from, I think, New York to Europe, England maybe, and finds a dead ship, and then hilarity ensues. Not hilarity. It was kind of a gothic horror style
Interesting.
thing, which was really cool, but they canceled it after the first season. It got crazy. It ended on a science fiction twist, which I thought was amazing.
Sigavac says, I learned a lot from Adepticon, but 2-hour sessions really didn't do it for me, but the 4 to 6 hour sessions really got in depth. I personally learned better in longer focused sessions.
100%. No,
That would
I
be a
completely
fun
agree with
deal.
you.
That would be fun, huh?
I completely agree with you.
Random says, any suggestions on how to do the coloring on a gun barrel that's overheated, like bluish purple? Look, if that makes sense. What's that called?
Bluing.
Bluing?
Yeah. When you heat, or when you have a lot of temperature applied to metal, it'll start to have that color flare to it. It will go from like a blue at its core, and then orange and magenta around the edge. And so the transparents work really, really well for that. The blue, the orange, and the magenta, or the red transparent work great for that. And it really is just staging it based off of pictures that you see of exhaust pipes and stuff that you like. So, being able to do that is fairly simple. You just have to do it as a glaze, so that you don't get a lot of intensity of color and build it up. I'm trying to think if I have anything. I don't really have anything I can show you on. If you're doing it over a metallic paint, it makes it pretty simple, but you just want to make sure that you've thinned your paint way down so that you can see the metallic through it and let it be that haze of color rather than an opaque. If you paint it opaque, it won't look right at all.
Huh.
But that's one that's pretty simple to just follow the look that you see, on the internet or such. Because you can look and get like exhaust pipes, blued exhaust pipes, and they'll show you. But the colors are blue, orange, and technically magenta, but our transparent red is the color.
Yeah.
And then just always remember that it happens at the point of greatest heat, which is not typically the end of the barrel. That's the hardest part for me. I don't use the technique a lot. People ask why I don't ever do it. And I'm like, well, because it's usually not on part of the model that would be exposed. On flamers, maybe the end of the flamer.
Because it's kind of licking the spout or whatever it is as it's coming out because of like wind and stuff.
Yeah. But even a flamer has an igniter out beyond where the gas expulses, so the heat might still get, but you'd really more get soot around the barrel if you've looked at stuff like that.
So black maybe
because like on exhaust, a lot of people buy the exhaust tips that are blued because it's cool looking.
Yeah.
But unfortunately what happens is that is on the actual manifold at the engine is where it happens. It doesn't happen anywhere along unless you have something really wrong with your pipes and your car. It only happens at the exhaust manifold where the tubes hit the case. Right.
So it's just for looks.
Because that's where all the heat is generated, right? Because that's right at the valve. That's where all the hot stuff is. It doesn't mean the whole pipe isn't hot, but that's where it's extreme enough to blue it. Yeah. And so for a barrel, if it was on a gun barrel, it would be next to the chamber. Normally guns are dark, so they don't show it anyway. You don't have like silver barrels. But if you did, it would be blued at the part closest to the stock. Yeah. Or to the gun, the foregrip and stuff, where the firing chamber is. It wouldn't be at the end of the barrel. And a lot of people blew like the end of the barrel and stuff like that, and that wouldn't be.
Yeah. I've definitely the black on the flamers makes sense.
Yeah, I was gonna say, unless it's running hella rich, like gasoline is still burping out the end of the pipe or something, right? It has a spark plug at the tip. Yeah, exactly. You have so much wrong with your pipes after Taco Bell. I think that's what got me on Friday night.
What? Oh. Whoa.
I think that's what got me. I've been fighting it all weekend.
We got.
Fighting the good fight.
The old taco.
You've been fighting the good fight?
I don't know that it's good.
It's a fight.
I'm losing.
You're
no.
It's a rotary cannon. Yeah.
The
rotary cannons are neat because you can actually do them correctly. Do I have a dreadnought with one? No, mine's got las cannons, doesn't it?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't think we have any rotaries.
Rat bastards.
Why does the rotary cannon do it? Because of the heat?
Because the barrels extend all the way to where the firing chamber is, so you could blue the barrels towards the gun and not at the tip.
Yes.
You can darken them at the tip like with soot, because the flame that comes out the end of the barrel and I don't know, whatever they use as accelerant or powder and stuff, you can imagine it getting like a black soot at the end of the barrel. But again, don't let realism get in the way of your fantasy. Those are just the things that kind of take me over the deep end.
Don't bring your science into my fantasy.
Whatever.
That's called science fantasy. Science fiction. Sci-fi fantasy.
My suspension of disbelief only travels so far.
Wad says, losing the good fight, then you need stream sponsor depends. Great segue. Ladies and
We've talked about this before.
Is your Taco Bell too much bell?
This is why we put a bed chamber in here.
Don't talk about it. Everybody's gonna get depends.
It's not a bed chamber; it's a chamber pot.
Okay, sorry.
No, I just poop on the floor.
I mixed chamber pot with bedpan in my head.
What did you say?
Bed chamber.
Bed chamber? Oh no!
Listen.
That's why we put a bed chamber in here.
That's where Chris sleeps because he lives here.
Dude. Ooh. I love when Chris just starts saying words like Plinko ball going down a well. Hey, I say whatever I want.
This is true.
He does.
I'm a
This is true.
wordsmith. Okay.
This is 100%.
I
true.
take your words and I craft them into something beautiful.
Beautiful.
And you can take that to the bank. Not legal
Branded
tender.
bed chambers. You can hobby in your dreams.
Wow. Better than
It's
a
always
bed
been my
pot.
dream.
Right?
I'm pretty sure most of the chat already are at an age where getting Depends ads. Tezzy, who I didn't want to think of it that way, but you might be right.
I hope not.
That's okay. Why not?
Depends are for everyone.
I might just throw one on just
That
for fun.
depends.
True.
Oh, here comes Gabe, clacking away.
Deep sigh.
There's a lot of signing going on.
you.
Oh.
Roadside says, beautiful, sure, but intelligible?
That's
I don't
all.
know about that one. Hey, whoa, you're banned. You like that?
Oh, the
Banned.
shotgun.
That's right. I have to get crazier and crazier all the time here. There you go. That's my new band sound.
Very rude to people. I apologize, chat. He's very rude.
Panic Bomb. I've only ever gotten Depends ads on Twitch, and I'm pretty sure that's Chris's fault. No, it's your fault, chat. What are you talking about?
Do you really get Depends ads on Twitch?
That's hilarious.
That's hilarious, by the way.
That's great. We need to call them.
I hope it is us having that effect on the algorithm.
imagine?
That'd be great.
If everybody's phones are on loud, so all their algorithms are just listening to each other. Well, they say Depends quite a bit. Maybe I can monetize them. Num, 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 num.
I don't think that's the right sound
Why
to make.
would
That's what they do.
Discussing Depends.
Num, 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 num. Ooh.
It's not scrumptious.
Mm-mm.
I would like some scrumptious Depends. Num, 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 num.
Gross.
Oh, yikes.
Chris, let's not do that.
You're right. I'm so sorry.
No probe.
I'm not. You know what? I'm not sorry.
He's not sorry.
Sir Blaine says, I want to answer, but what advantages does a glass palette have over a wet palette?
Oh, great question. For me, we discussed this earlier today, as a matter of fact. For me, it's the fact that the paint is always the way it came out of the bottle on a dry palette. Glass or otherwise, paper, whatever. Whereas a wet palette is constantly diluting your paint. And so at some point in time, when you go over to the paint droplet, it can no longer be as opaque as it was when you started, because it continually absorbs more water on the wet palette. The wet palette is a dumb machine. It doesn't know when to stop feeding water through the membrane. So it will just continue feeding water through the membrane and eventually overwet your paint. It'll get sloppy at some point. And, you can glaze till your heart's content if that's what you like to do and never really see the issue. But if you're trying to paint, opacity, you'll be fighting to get back to that stage of where you started. So the dry palette, I never have that problem. Dry palette, the paint, the droplet of paint, the way that I use it is always exactly the way it came out of the bottle. And so I can adjust every time I go to the palette to get the opacity I need by either adding more water in my brush or less. I'm in control, basically. It's a control freak thing.
Ghost Hunter says, my brush is looking really grimy. Can you show me how to clean it using brush goo?
No. You bastages.
It even highlighted this question.
No, I
Great
won't
question,
do it.
by the way,
I
Ghost
won't
Hunter.
do it. You guys are just trying to get us to stream longer.
We do have a video.
See? See what we do for you guys?
And it's on our new Learn tab. Here we go.
And that's what I call a quack attack.
A quack attack?
Yeah.
Check this out. Ghost Hunter, I know you don't want to see this, but you should go watch this video. I'm going to do it.
You
for
know
all
he
of them.
didn't really want to know how to clean a brush.
Well, and for
that guy's
everybody,
seen us
this
clean
is-
a brush 80 million times.
Also, you could just go to this link right here, and it is going. You're going to see Jen. cleaning a brush, and also Brush Goop is on that page. So there you go. Look at that. Look what we do for you.
Yeah, for anybody that might be new around here, we are not denying that we would love to show you how to clean a brush, but that's not what he's really asking.
And Jarl's is Tony. Wait, what's Brush Goop? That's this is literally for you. Is there a standard way to clean brushes? I don't want a video. Have Chris show me. I won't hit that video. It's right there. It's a video. And guess what? It's the best way to clean your brushes, hands down. You can even clean your makeup brushes with it.
You could.
It is on our website, Jeff, right here. I'm going to take you. Great segue. If you see in chat, it's on a revolving time, but this is our new Learn tab. We're basically compiling all of our beautiful stuff from Stream, all the tutorials, the methodologies, all the shorts and VODs, all that are on that tab. So go click it if you haven't checked it out. You could be Gilborn, and that's okay. I don't think I've ever seen anyone do anything even 1 million times. Probably not, Flapsack. Probably not. Can Jason go on another tirade about Chaos Space Marines?
I
and
bet
their
I've
uniforms?
made over 1 million brush strokes.
You think?
that
Oh,
people
that's
have
easy.
seen.
That's easy. That one's an easy one.
I bet there are people in this chat right now that have seen me paint 1 million brush strokes.
Wait, okay. Let's think about this. 1 million? Probably.
I guarantee I do thousands a day.
Thousands?
Yeah, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Let's just say I do 1,000 brush strokes a day, which I guarantee is an easy number. I probably blow past that in 2 hours.
I mean, it's constant.
Yeah, because I'm a very sketchy artist, right? I paint with a lot of brush strokes. I don't do a whole lot of like single pulls. So I bet he's lying. You can catch him. You can say, Flapsack, you're lying. You've been here long enough to see
bet
1 million.
you.
What is 1 million divided by 2,000?
500,000.
No.
Now,
Mm-mm.
what did you say?
That's incorrect.
You said
It's like- it's
two
like-
divided by a
It's
million?
like 5,000.
Too many zeros.
Oh, I thought you said okay, you said 1 million divided by 2. What'd you say?
It's like it's not even that.
A
Right?
million divided by 2?
No, not by
2,000.
2.
Oh, he said 2,000. Oh,
Mm.
yes, I might have had a stroke.
Mm.
Of goodwill.
Oh.
It's 500. 500.
Ooh.
So that's a couple of years. There's people here that have seen over 1 million brush strokes. Maybe not
that's
Flapsack.
that
That's like 2 years worth of full stream watching.
Honestly, that is not surprising number because I could totally get behind that.
Yeah, and I feel like it's probably more like 200 streams. So anybody with a 200 stream streak has seen me do 1 million brush strokes if you stuck around for very long.
Can you suggest what colors to paint Native American flesh tones?
Flapsack, if you don't watch the whole time, I'm mad at you.
Flapsack.
Native American flesh tones.
Yeah.
So in general, okay, so this is great question. I'm going to answer back with something that pisses people off because there are so many different if you just Google Native American flesh tones, you'll find there's everything from pale to super like reddish burnt, what would be like a sunburn type skin for us.
There's a lot.
In that Caucasian kind of Southern Central American style.
There's quite a
line.
bit.
There's a ton because you got to think that Native American includes the people in upstate New York and you have very pale skin. So I'm assuming by Native American, you're meaning more of the Southwestern kind of
like Navajo
Central
kind of-
American Navajo style flesh tones. And really, I like starting those with dark flesh. Dark flesh takes care of most of what you'll need for any of the reddishness in it. Because they just have a different kind of sun-baked, right? Because they still are in that more Caucasian-y skin tone overall, just with a red base. So dark flesh is a great starter. Then you can just move into like advanced flesh tone. It has a really nice amount of yellow that gives it, again, sun-kissed look. Shadow flesh works good too. Shadow flesh is going to keep it very centered on the red because shadow flesh has a lot of that pinkishness in it, but that works pretty well. And this is where you're going to live for most of it because you're going to take your base tone of dark flesh and then you're going to add in, say, 75. You're going to do a coat of this 100%, then 75-25, then 50-50, and then probably 25-75 might be the only highlight you need. I don't know that you ever have to go to advanced flesh tone straight out of the bottle. Depends on how dark you want it. Because you could also go into this on its own and then move into something like beige red as a highlight for it.
Yeah.
And that works really well. Or warm flesh, dark warm flesh, mix that in as a highlight. Again, you start to see, like, do you want to lean towards pinkishness, reddishness, a little bit of yellow, so it's like outdoor warmth from the sun.
Yeah.
Flesh is variable in that way, and it's really good to start focusing in on the ways that you can paint flesh in general, because the same way as when people say, what does Asian skin look like? Well, if you go Google Asian skin, it literally can be from near albino to nearly black.
Yeah.
Right? Or African style skin. And so you run the gamut, right? Because it's all regional. Remember that skin is not necessarily a component of like a landmass.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because within that landmass, if it's big enough, you have enough climate differences and environmental differences that you have different skin tones across it altogether. So it's really good to get used to the fact that with skin, let's just take this.
Yeah.
This is a good 3-color workup. And it's going to give you the ability to have a very reddish kind of sun-kissed and near burned feel to it, which is that outside leathery hide skin. You could say that a dude that's on his motorcycle all the time looks this way, right? Because skin tends to get wrinkled, and so you wind up having this, but it will be more red if you leave more of your base tone showing, and then use very little of the highlights, just enough to make them highlights. But then you can move away to where it's very little of the red if you extend your midtones further,
right.
And then you can make it paler if you extend your highlights further. So these 3 colors can do a wonderful job on making your skin go run the range of something that is nearly this dark to something that's nearly this pale, and never switch your colors. Huh. That's why you'll see me, I start with the same, sometimes it's changing the base, right? If I were going to do this and I wanted it to be strictly like Caucasian flesh, I might start with burnt umber instead, because it's a lighter. It still gives me a good shadow, but it doesn't have that reddishness to it. So I might use this and I can paint Caucasian skin tone all day long, right? You could add the dark flesh, and now you could move it into Mexico, Central America, South America, and these colors would work. But then, of course, in modern day Argentina, Chile, you got to take this back out, right? Because you wind up with more light skin, and sometimes even in Mexico, because you have the Spanish descent, which were very light skin. The Spaniards that came over were basically white.
Yeah.
And so, you look through it and you can make that determination. But again, it's how much of your shadow tone do you leave versus how much highlight do you do, or how much does a highlight take over, makes the skin more pale. But you can get, what it shows is that you can get and make this. You could buy these 4 colors, and this could be your skin workup for everything non-African. And even when using African flesh, all you have to do to this is add black brown. And this is now your this is your every flesh tone deal. And I don't know what colors I picked. I do, but this could be any range of the colors inside of the skin tone set. You might want to, like I said, add in warm flesh as a highlighter there too. But you could buy these 6 colors in a flesh set, and you could paint any skin tone you wanted. Because it's just a matter of, okay, which one of these am I going to pick to leave the most visible on the model? If it's these 3, that model is going to be very pale, right? If it's these 3, that model is going to be like suntanned, right? Yeah. If it's these 3, that model is going to have very dark skin, right? Because you're only using a pinch of these colors to give you highlights where you need them. So when I do African skin tones, I typically start with black brown, and I generally like the addition of shadow flesh to black brown in small amounts, and I just keep working it up to where shadow flesh might be my brightest highlight, and then a touch of warm flesh for if there's sweat or real high reflection areas on the forehead or nose or something like that. And you can do that. So again, you could swap this. That help?
Yeah. Cool. Jason.
That's what Chris says when he's not paying any attention.
No, I'm paying attention to you. You do.
Cool.
We do have to wrap it up. You have you have a meeting.
Cool. Yeah. Do I have a meeting?
You do.
Oh no.
4:30. It's getting close.
What's my meeting at 4:30?
It's with Jose.
Oh, that's right.
Yay, Jose.
Did the purple, red, yellow, green, pale flesh glaze for the flesh tone. The result was better than you thought. Thank you for the video on this. Oh, yeah. Underpainting can be really cool. If you go really light with the glaze, especially for stuff like Jukari and the Talos, because those are the paint engine things, right? So I assume that they have really pale. We did a quick workup last week because somebody was asking about how to do chaos pale flesh. And so we did something like this. It was very sketchy, but obviously using royal purple and beige red
Yeah.
into olive flesh, and you can dial this in how you need. But this is a really great way to do that kind of stretched to thin, ultra pale, but still can look like it's alive because it has some pinkishness from the blood under the skin feel.
Slanesh kind of.
I think the
vibes.
question was for Slanesh, like on
Yeah.
Emperor's Children, and I really leaned into the royal purple because I feel like that's cool. But you can play with that. That could be good zombie flesh, vampires. If I was doing vampire counts or flesh eater courts or something, you could do that. Derelict, what'd you say?
No, that was where was it?
What color do I paint? You paint them the color they are. Remember the crusty bits on the top
No.
of the caps?
Oh. No.
Oh, Derelict, yeah. The I just pick them off, right? You can avoid most of that by wiping it on your palette. So if you go over to the palette real quick,
Yeah.
once you've put a droplet of paint out,
Yeah.
right? Then you see I kind of wipe, you get that little streak. So I've wiped it. Then I close the lid, and that causes a little bubble of paint. And then I just do that right next to it. So you'll see a lot of that here, yellow and then yellow, the red and the red. It looks like there's 2 drops, but one of them is to put it out on the palette, and the other one is to wipe it clean. And then you have less of that. You'll still get a little bit of buildup, but generally it's so thin at the time where you do that, and some people will wipe it on a paper towel, blot it on a paper towel real quick, and then the next time you go to open it, you crack it and it opens all the way. But
I put mine in little pill cases for later.
It's his medication.
I need to go.
Don't you do that too?
I need to go.
Hey, thanks so much, everybody.
Thank you, everyone, for hanging out with us. Just watching some paint dry.
That's right.
We got to work on the horns today, the antlers, and then I've just started in with the neutral grays on what will be all of the black leather straps. I'm going to go through. We've done black, coal black. I lined it back in to get rid of any of the overbrushing that I had for my skin and mane. Went black, dark neutral gray. Tomorrow we'll get into it with some bright neutral gray, and then I'll do probably a Payne's gray wash, or maybe we'll thin down the dark blue black one step, since we've been showing how to use the one step as filters.
I've been loving that.
We'll thin down some of the dark blue black and do it back over the top. So I'm going to exaggerate like I do with leather and over brighten and over texture these leather straps. Then we're going to put a filter back over the top of them and knock them back into brown leather, but I want a tinge of blue to it, which I think will be really cool.
Hey, team, thanks for hanging out today.
Thanks
Ryan,
for having
Alex,
us.
Gabe,
Gabe?
Gabe
it's been a real time.
Everybody, thanks so much for
fun.
hanging out. Make sure to follow the links that Chris threw up in chat there. Jen always used to hate when I said threw up in chat.
Oh.
Blech. Blech. Barf. But click on it. Make sure to join our Discord where we have closing in, or if not over, 7,000 amazing artists. It's a great place for inspiration, making friends, hanging out, doing all the cool stuff. And check out monumenthobbies.com, monumenthobbies.eu. Buy some paint.
Yep.
Buy some paint. Keeps us being able to do this wonderful show with you, gang. And thanks for the support over the years. Stick around, because Chris is going to find us somebody to raid. Remember to hit the follow and subscribe buttons before you leave us. We do this Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Monument Standard Time. We'd love to see you back. We love having you here. You guys drive great content. I hope we got to all your questions. If not, make sure to bring them with you again tomorrow. We'd love to see you back. And stick around, like I said, show some love in the chat. We wind up in on the raid. Enjoy some hobby into your Monday evening, and we'll catch you back here tomorrow, gang. Adios.
Bye.